you and I found ourselves talking a little bit more about the Super Bowl yesterday and, chit-chatting about what went wrong. And we obviously drank all of your Philly tears yesterday, Perloff. And, you're doing a nice job rebounding here despite your team losing. But we started talking about the quarterbacks. And I was like, well, I think Hurts had the better game. And you're like, wait, what?
No. That's not the conversation.
What was
I
the
agree
conversation?
Hurts had the better game.
I said that Jalen Hurts should have been the MVP of the game.
See, that is where I totally disagree.
Okay, so
Hurts might have had the better game, but that does not mean anything.
Well,
you know who won, right, Maggie?
I think it kind of does. No, see, I think that there's still a room and space for us to talk about how good Jalen Hurts was, and it's not like, oh, bravo, Jalen Hurts. Like, no, you were the better quarterback. Now, it's crazy because Mahomes almost gets graded on a curve because what he did on the bum ankle in the second half.
Right.
It's like Rihanna performing the halftime show. Because she was pregnant, we're grading it on a curve. Like, if that was just her not pregnant, we all would have been like, meh of a show. She didn't really do that much. She went up on a riser, down a riser, whatever. But because Mahomes was on the bum ankle.
I don't know why Rihanna just took a shot, but okay.
Yeah, I know. I didn't mean to sideswipe her there. But the thing is, Mahomes turned in an all-time performance because he was hurt. If you're asking who the real genius was of the second half, it was Andy Reid. The play calling was better than the Mahomes performance. Those were easy throws. This wasn't the Mahomes magic of the weird arm angles and the scrambling. He had the one amazing run, 26 yards, kept a drive alive. No doubt he deserves credit, but Hurts had the more difficult throws. He had the better throws. I mean, a 45-yard touchdown to A.J. Brown, a 42-yard throw to Devontae Smith. Those were longer than anything Mahomes turned in.
Okay, so let's look at those two. One, the A.J. Brown play was there was two Chiefs defenders, and one slipped on the ice rink that was a field, and the other just got completely lost. That wasn't a great throw by any means, and I don't think Jalen Hurts will tell you it was a great throw. Then the throw to Devontae Smith let him out of bounds, and he couldn't get in the end zone. If he threw it perfectly, I think Hurts is, this is what I really think. I think Hurts' shoulder was bothering him. I don't think he could throw downfield as effectively. I think the Chiefs knew that big time and then stacked the box against a run. That's why the Eagles couldn't run it all. So they were begging Jalen Hurts to take some shots, and he took two. They didn't make any long throws at all. He took two. He hit them, and it was great, and he had an amazing game. But I think the opposite. I think the Chiefs, the Eagles said, you're not going to beat us long, so we're going to let you run on us. But Mahomes still took advantage of every opportunity. I was sitting there all second half, Maggie, saying, please make a mistake, Mahomes. Make a bad read. Just screw up one play. And it never came. He was perfect.
Well, he had a fantastic second half, but there was something about the line for the Eagles, and I can't make an excuse for them. They were just bad. The defensive line. They were just bad in that game.
No, they weren't. Mahomes got rid of it.
But also, I think you're right about the field, because I'm remembering back to when the Bills and the Bengals played in Orchard Park, and it was odd because it was like only the Bills pass rush couldn't get their footing, and it felt like that was almost happening. Only the Eagles pass rush had a really tough time with the conditions, right? Both teams had to play in it.
I totally
but it
agree.
felt like the Eagles were slipping and sliding a lot more, especially the guys on the defensive line. They couldn't get to Mahomes.
Maybe, but Mahomes was getting rid of the ball perfectly.
Right. Again, Andy Reid play calls. Those are not because Mahomes is like. No, I know, but they made that easy for him. You know how there was a criticism? Micah Parsons said Jalen Hurts was just part of the system and he wasn't that great of a quarterback. Like, I thought Mahomes was playing more in the system in the Super Bowl than he ever did. That wasn't like a lot of Mahomes improvisation.
I know, and honestly, I think when Mahomes holds on the ball and tries to make a play, that's not the best Mahomes. The in-system Mahomes is awesome. So you're almost faulting him in a sense. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're faulting him for playing within that system and taking exactly what the Eagles gave him?
It's not faulting. I'm just looking at what Hurts did, and I'm like, higher degree of difficulty on throws.
Yes.
I thought I can just go to the numbers if you want. I mean, yardage-wise, he destroyed him. I mean.
Yes, because also Mahomes was on the bench the entire first half because their defense scored, and then the Eagles chipped down the field.
Yeah, time of possession definitely plays into it, but the fact that Mahomes was held to under 200 yards passing, and after the injury, again, efficient, 13 of 14 for 93 yards. It's like not a lot. I mean, you're talking about...
How many incompletions is that?
Well, that was just one after the injury. he went 21 of 27 for 182 yards and 3 touchdowns.
And no picks, 132.2 rating.
Okay, whereas Hurts went 27 for 38 for 304 yards and set records for quarterback rushing in 3 touchdowns, and also
which is meaningless,
set a record for rushing yards in a Super Bowl by a quarterback.
He had a bunch of 2-yard rushing touchdowns. That doesn't do anything for me. Who cares?
Well, he also had a 45-yard bomb to A.J. Brown that was a touchdown. So
I know.
He did it
he had a great game. Hurts had a great game.
And the 2-point conversion to tie it up at 35.
He had a great game. It
was massive.
I'm not taking, but to give the MVP to the losing side takes such a Herculean difference.
You don't think that's what Hurts was doing?
Do you think, honestly, do you think anyone watched that game and said this was enough of a difference between Hurts and Mahomes? Mahomes was pretty close to perfect. He was 21 for 27. He was pretty darn good, and he had a massive run. And also, I don't want to say anything. You're making me say something negative about Hurts, but arguably he had the play that cost him the game.
Well, the fumble. I mean, that was the one big. You can't say it cost him the game, but it was the first half.
They were about to run away with it.
They might have run away with it, but
it was a huge play. Also,
there was a lot of football after that play.
Second half, he did miss a couple throws. He missed Watkins on that play. It was about a 25-yard pass, and Watkins, if he was a better receiver, probably would have come out with it.
He had his hands on it. I mean, that's generally on the receiver. When
I thought that Hurts got rid of it a second late. I think Hurts missed a couple opportunities in the second half. He had to be absolutely perfect because Mahomes was on a heater in the second half. He was great. And the whole off and Pacheco running. Don't you think? Will you agree with this at least? The Eagles were scared of Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. They were not scared of the run, and that's why Kansas City could run.
Yeah, probably.
And the opposite is true for the Eagles. The Eagles could not run.
Well, only Hurts could run.
Right. No, the running backs could not run because the defense was set up. They were not afraid of Hurts beating them over the top. They did twice, but they were not.
But that almost burned them. And honestly, if there wasn't the James Bradbury call, I think you have Jalen Hurts leading a scoring drive down the field. You and I both thought that would have happened.
I know. He was great. Yes, but that's not how you give out the Super Bowl MVP.
Listen, I get why Mahomes got it. Did everything, the bum leg. It's it's his flu game.
That doesn't matter. It could have been a perfectly healthy game. To be Super Bowl MVP, to cross the lines and give it to the losing team requires such a massive difference. I mean, who deserves it more? Jalen Hurts for this game or Tom Brady for the game they lost to the Eagles?
I mean, I thought Tom Brady really had a case.
Yeah, of course. He threw for over 500
yards.
Do you think Tom Brady wanted the Super Bowl MVP that year? Of course not.
Tom doesn't want it because.
Do you think Jalen Hurts wanted it on Sunday? No way.
I think Hurts would have graciously accepted it. I don't know. I don't know if Brady would have.
Hurts would not have taken it. He would have said no. How could he? It's like throwing a baseball back after you catch a home run from the opposing team. Nobody in Philly wanted Hurts to win the Super Bowl MVP.
But did you hear Hurts after the game? He couldn't have been more gracious, saying that you either win or you learn something.
Yeah.
He was there was a lot of Philly patting ourselves on the back for a great season at the end.
Yeah, but he did not want Super Bowl MVP in a losing effort. That'd be embarrassing. Would you want that? Why? That would be.
I don't think it's embarrassing.
To be a lose, it just brings home again that you're a loser. And to
Do you
win
think Jerry West didn't want to be?
Yes, and Jerry West is teased about that all the time. That's a negative.
I don't want to bring up Jerry West.
Do you remember
he's
the show?
Psycho. I don't want to bring that up. He's not. Jalen Hurts and Jerry West, I don't think, have a lot in common.
Jerry West is the NBA's all-time loser in finals, and he has that label. You saw it in winning time.
Okay, but what's he actually remembered for? The logo. I mean, Jerry West is actually remembered as a winner, even though he fell short in so many of those finals.
No. Ask old basketball fans. He is known as a guy who could not beat the Celtics.
No, I understand that's what really happened, but what's his real legacy? His real legacy is the logo.
I understand. There's the logo, of course, but there's also a huge, in basketball lore, he is definitely identified as a guy who could not capitalize on his opportunities.
I get it, but that was also going back to the 70s. I mean, now he's known as the logo and an executive. Why are we talking about Jerry West the day after the Super Bowl? Okay.
NBA Finals.
NBA Finals.
Thurman Thomas, didn't he have a good case?
He had a great case against the Giants.
But nobody does that.
Give it to him.
Nobody wants it. The winning team gets the MVP. That's the way it should be. And also, unless it's so egregious, if Patrick Mahomes had if it was 19 for 42 and 114 yards and 2 picks, Patrick Mahomes had a heck of a game.
Patrick Mahomes had a great game. I think Hurts was the better quarterback yesterday. Sunday.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He's not the better quarterback overall. Mahomes is the better quarterback overall. But if you're asking me which quarterback played better in the Super Bowl, who had the better game?
Right.
Jalen Hurts had the better game.
Right.
Definitely. So I think that would listen. They basically always give it to the quarterback anyway these days, except for an outlier here or there.
But was it So you're saying that Super Bowl MVP should always go to the guy who had the best game?
I think you could have made a case for that. Yeah.
No.
I think LeBron James. I think LeBron James should have won MVP of the series the year before the Cavs actually won when they were playing the Golden State.
Yeah, enjoy that award.
Listen, I mean,
seriously.
Do you think LeBron's turning down a trophy?
Is that part of your LeBron's better than MJ case? That's sympathy awards for losing efforts?
First loser, 855-2124-CBS, 855-212-4227.
Can I speak for Eagles fans?
Yeah, of course.
You could give that trophy to Jalen Hurts. He should throw it on that slippery field in Phoenix and just leave it in that garbage pile. Who would want a Super Bowl MVP on a losing effort? It'd be embarrassing to me.
I don't know. I think if I played well enough to be acknowledged as the MVP.
By the way, if he had come down and hit a game-winning touchdown at the end, he would have won MVP. Everyone knows that. That's how it works.
855-212-4CBS, 855-212-4227. All right. A lot going on here. This chat, man. This is a wonderful addition to our show since we've moved to YouTube. Thomas L. says, to me, the most astonishing thing was the Chiefs' second half performance. 0 turnovers, 0 penalties, 0 sacks, 0 punts, 1 incomplete pass. And that's why the Chiefs came away as winners.